Hello, this is Alex Haigh with EXP and the Haigh Group of the Treasure Coast. Today I'm going to be talking about coronavirus. Is this going to blow up the mortgage market? Yes or no? Stay tuned. All right, good day, good evening, good afternoon. This is Alex Haigh with EXP and the Haigh Group of the Treasure Coast. And today we're going to bring up a very timely subject. We are in the middle of the coronavirus. We're getting towards the end of April here. And I guess the big question in the air is what is going to happen with real estate moving forward? Now, one of the big things that drives real estate is investment, and investment, I guess, would be considered how low are interest rates. How lower interest rates will spur the mortgage market. The lower the interest rates, the more people can buy, right? So now also within that, as people potentially lose their jobs, unemployment definitely has gone up. You also have an instance where there's going to be less people getting mortgages, and less people get mortgages that may bring more inventory on the market. Now, back to mortgages. One of the things that happened in the last recession was one of the first programs that went away were construction loans. And we've seen that happen already here with the coronavirus. The mortgage lenders that I work with, the construction loans have definitely started to fizzle and go away. So that's one part of the mortgage market that's gone. Now, that may come back. We don't know. Time will tell on that. But a lot of those, we actually literally have had programs which are construction loans gone. Another thing with mortgages, the guidelines have changed. So marginal borrowers, these might be people that kind of needed compensating factors. Hey, you needed a letter to a company. They needed maybe somebody to co-borrow with them. The underwriters are being much more scrutinizing when it comes to these marginal lenders. Marginal borrowers they are not lending to, and they're being a little more strict with that. Also, guidelines for FHA with minimum credit scores. The credit scores are going up as a minimum credit score to lend. So just those two things right there, if those give us an indicator of where things are going, then the lending standards are going to tighten and less people will be able to get mortgages. So, what does this mean for buyers and sellers? Firstly, I don't know for sure. Anybody that tells you they know anything for sure, run for the hills, because nobody knows anything for sure. Like I've said right now, the most valuable commodity that we have right now is certainty, and nobody is certain about anything. I can tell you something right now, people are still buying and selling. The agents that have aligned with us, both in my organization, within our group, and also outside the group, I try to keep a very, very close eye on our community. People are still buying and selling. So that is happening. Anybody that tells you houses aren't selling, don't listen to them. Anybody that tells you you shouldn't buy, you can't buy, don't listen to them. We are considered essential services. So we've been out there on the front lines. We've been doing a lot of stuff virtually, and people are still buying and selling. So as far as the buyers are concerned, interest rates are still incredibly low. They actually have been going lower because another side to this whole thing is that the Federal Reserve has been buying treasuries at a breakneck speed, which drives down interest rates. Interest rates are affected on the mortgage market, not directly, but indirectly due to that. So if you're a buyer and you're thinking about buying, I still think it's a good time to buy. No matter what the values do, if you're looking to buy something and you're going to be in a rental and you can afford it and you've got a job, and especially if you're in a job that has made it through this, you're probably pretty recession-proof if there is a recession on the horizon. So I still think it's a good time to buy. If you're thinking about selling, I definitely think it's a good time to sell as well. Now, I don't mean to be speaking out of both sides of my mouth as a politician would. My point is that interest rates being low And qualifying for loans, that is probably only going to get tougher. So if you're going to buy, going to get in, and it's looking like it's going to be 3 to 5 to 10 years that you're going to be in that you would have rented anyways, definitely should buy something, in my opinion. Now, as a seller, you know, if you're looking to move on to someplace else, I would say that it's probably a pretty good time to put your house on the market and work with somebody that can do things virtually, that has a great web presence. You know, so I definitely think that the mortgage market may start to shrivel, and that may put pressure by bringing more inventory on the market, and that may create a downward pressure on pricing and values. So that's it in a nutshell. There's a lot of different ways to look at this, and you know, there's no crystal ball. I've been through the last 2008. This doesn't quite feel as it happened so much faster than 2008. 2008 was a gradual decrease in pricing because nobody really knew what was going on behind the scenes with subprime. There was a few people that did, and you know, they made a lot of money from that. But the point is that this is not really a housing crisis. This is more of a currency crisis, potentially based on that if people don't have money, that's going to have a hard time lending. So that may create pressure on all of those lenders, and there may be some defaults here in the future, which again would increase lending standards. So if you're thinking about buying, you might get priced out or categoried out of the lending market. So, you know, I think that should give you a good encapsulation that we're still helping people buy and sell. People are still buying and selling. Again, to encapsulate this thing, the interest rates are still low. However, minimum standards are going up. So as a buyer, you might want to get in if you were thinking about buying. Right now, we have actually found that it's a little bit quieter out there, so there aren't quite as many bidding wars going on, and you definitely might be able to find a possibility out there. I just actually helped a first-time buyer over the weekend here purchase, and it wasn't quite the frustrating factor of dealing with that we've had in the past. So that being said, if you're a seller, I think it's a good time to sell. You know, if you want to move on, and that's your goal, is to move on, not necessarily like to make all this money on your house. If you're looking to move on, if that's your goal, I do that. If you can weather the storm, this storm could be a long time. Who knows? Again, we don't know. So stay close to your trusted advisors. Stay healthy. Work on yourself. Both health and mind. We found that there's definitely been some people, including agents and agencies, that have kind of regressed from this. We have been out on the front of this and working with people that want to still think positive. And, you know, hey, this too shall pass like everything else. The only constant is change. So I appreciate you all sticking around for this. And yeah, leave us a comment, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell, and you will get alerted as to when we get new videos. So thanks so much, and have a great day.